Hey guys, it's Julie here from Worthy Woodworks, and today I'm going to be showing you how I make these wooden flower signs. They're super fun to make, great for beginners, and you can customize them any way you'd like. Any size, any color. I used a bandsaw for mine, but you could easily use a jigsaw and other basic tools. These signs look beautiful hanging on a fence, a tree, or even your house. Alright guys, let's get into it. So here I'm tracing the petals for the sunflower I'm making. You can make these any size you'd like. I've made bigger ones before. I suppose it just depends on the wood you have available and the look you want to achieve. The petals in this video are roughly 12 inches long by 4.5 inches wide. I made this flower out of pallet wood. It seemed like a hardwood pallet, possibly oak. I like the idea of taking something that would otherwise be put in the garbage and turning it into something beautiful. However, you can make this out of any wood you'd like. Now I took the pieces to the bandsaw and started cutting them out. This is a Wen 9-inch bandsaw. If you don't have a bandsaw, you could also use a jigsaw. You can see the blade jumping around a little bit. I did end up changing the blade and retightening it, and it started to cut a bit better. Cutting the pieces out, just follow along the line as close as you can. I also cut the center piece for the flower. I just found something round and a good size and traced it out. I ended up using a quart of stain to trace the circle. I also cut a piece to put on the back. This piece won't be visible. It will just help add more support to the flower so the petals have more material to hold on to when I screw them down. You will see the purpose for this later on in the video. Now I am sanding the petals on my rigid belt sander. I am just trying to make the outer edge nice and smooth and consistent. This could also be easily done using an electric palm sander. Here I am laying all the petals out so you can get an idea of how it's going to look. Yeah, gonna look something like that. I went ahead and added some DAP Platinum Patch exterior grade filler to the petals. Some of them had some holes and knots that I filled in. This is optional and will just give the flower a more polished look. If you would like your flower to look more rustic, you could leave the wood defects. Now I am sanding all over the petals again to smooth out the wood filler, and I am also rounding over the outer edge of the petals. This will give the flower a nice, natural, smooth look. We are now outside and I'm going to be spraying the entire flower with blue paint using my Wagner spray gun. This is just going to be the first base coat of paint so everything absorbs into the wood and will give it a nice smooth finish when I go ahead and hand paint the flower later on. I am making sure to coat all of the petals entirely. This Wagner spray gun is incredible, and it makes painting or applying finish way faster than applying by hand, and I would highly recommend it. It is so much easier and gives a much more clean and even finish than applying by hand. I added about 2 to 3 coats to the front and back side of the petals. Got some paint on the grass, but that's okay. Now here I am painting the center piece of the flower. I used a brown paint, and then I do go in later and add more detail to this piece off camera, just by adding some rings with different browns and oranges to add more depth and realism to the piece. You can see that in the final design. Finally, we are now painting the petals of the sunflower. This one I made blue, and I think it looks really cool. I actually already painted almost all of the petals off camera by accident, as you can see, but here you can see me painting one. I'm using 3 paint colors, a dark blue, a lighter blue, and a white. I start with the dark blue towards the bottom and blend it with the lighter blue towards the top. Then I go in and add white highlights wherever it seems fit, just trying to blend everything together nicely. You can paint the petals however you'd like. It really is just personal preference, but I'm happy with how it turned out. Just keep adding more of the dark blue, the light blue, and the white until you're happy with how it looks. Don't forget to get the edges. And here's how it's looking. Now I am assembling the flower. I have that round piece on the back of the petals, and I am first going to brad nail the petals to that backer piece, keeping the nails behind where that front center piece will sit. I am now going in with screws to secure it even better, countersinking the holes and then putting the screws in. Now I'm adding PL Premium construction adhesive to the front center piece and pin nailing it down. Using pin nails is better because they will be much less visible than brad nails. However, I do end up filling those nail holes in later with brown paint. Here, I am adding a coat of water-based wood finish and semi-gloss to help protect the piece and give it a smooth, glossed finish. I do the front and back side. I did 2 to 3 coats. I painted the back of the flower off camera, just a solid blue, to make the piece more finished and protected. Now to add the wire so we can hang the piece up. I put 2 small screws on the back and wrap the wire around those screws, cutting off any excess and hammering down any pointy parts that may be sticking out. Just wrapping the wire around those screws. Cutting off the excess and hammering down any pointy parts. And there we go. I put a screw into the fence to hang up the flower. And here's the final product. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and thank you so incredibly much for watching. I love you guys, and I'm so grateful to have you here with me. I'll see you in the next one.